think we are live. Let's post this. Let's post this. And let's go on to this. Hello everyone, welcome to this, for me anyway, here in the UK, somewhat late Nintendo Direct stream. And because Nintendo just sort of announced today that it was going to be showing off, I guess, the first footage, a tour, a preview of the museum that they're opening up later this year in Kyoto. I was in Kyoto recently. For anyone who hasn't been keeping up with me on social media, you'll know that part of the reason that this channel has been a bit quiet the last few months is because I have been touring Japan and doing various Nintendo things, going to the Super Nintendo World and staying at Marufukuro and going to all the Nintendo stores, and there'll be videos about that coming up, about all of them. But one of the things I did want to do on this trip was actually go to the Nintendo Museum, because originally it was meant to be open while I was there, like before this summer. But they delayed it, annoyingly. And it looks like, though, that the plan is still for it to come out in for this fall, which is when they delayed it to. And I guess they decided that it's a big enough thing that they're going to do a direct for it, I suppose. I mean, I guess directs work for everything else, right? So why not? Calling that we'll see the whole Smash mural. I didn't go to inspect the grounds. If it's right next to the Nintendo building, I did see it from a distance. But it's, you know, a big empty building. It's more interesting from the top because they have that giant question mark block from the top. I'm assuming it's next to the Nintendo building. Anyway, that would make the most sense. But they've got a whole bunch of buildings around there. I mean, yeah, but like, I think it's more like they're doing it because they want people to make the effort to come over to Japan for this, right? Like, they're not going to give us a tour of the entire museum in this direct. And especially in under 10 minutes, that'd be a tiny museum. I suspect we're going to get someone from Nintendo. I'm actually kind of curious who from Nintendo will be hosting this. Will it be Furukawa, or will it be... This doesn't feel like a Miyamoto project, right? But maybe they'd get him anyway? Or maybe there's some kind of other Nintendo exec that is involved in the creation of this museum. And they're going to get them here to just give a talk through. And how will they do it? Like with the Super Nintendo World? Because I believe they did a direct for that, right? They had Miyamoto outside the gates being like, oh, go in, let's go. Do the walk in and give us our first big reveal. Like, it kind of makes more sense for a theme park. Are they going to do that here with the museum? Are they going to be like, hell, let's go, a history of Nintendo, and then you just walk through it. It's like a lobby, a gift shop. The guy from HAL that helped develop the Switch. I don't know which guy you mean. Yeah, it would be cool to visit Japan and go to the museum, but I would not put it at my top. Yeah, I'm going to say, if it's your first time in Japan, maybe not a must-see thing, but you never know, actually. You know, people like going to museums when they're on holiday, and this is a Nintendo museum, so what kind of cool stuff is going to be there? And I think that's what I want them to show off here. Give us some teasers for how far they're going to go. So I went to Marufukuro, and for those who don't know, that's the Nintendo hotel that used to be their original offices when they were still like a card manufacturing company. Like, all the way before they started doing video games, even before they started doing like toys properly. It was basically the Yamaguchi, the guy who founded Nintendo. It was like his house, an office building, and then a warehouse, and that was it. And they just made trading cards and Hanafuda cards and stuff like that. But if you go to that hotel, it has a kind of museum in it. Like, it has a library with a bunch of old Nintendo stuff, books about what Nintendo was before Mario, like old adverts for the Love Tester. They have this like they use the 3DS's display, the same technology for this interactive little showcase where you can like scroll through and see all the different like products that they made pre-Famicom. Which includes the Game & Watch. That has some video game stuff there, and then you can like move the model around in 3D, and there's a little descriptions of it and stuff. So they have that at the Nintendo Hotel, and they have like examples on pictures, and like the actual like in display cabinets of the Hanafuda cards and the playing cards they used to make and stuff like this. So it's kind of got a mini museum for all that before Mario stuff. And so the problem here then becomes that I know you can only enter that and see that if you pay for the hotel, but the museum would be a little boring if it was just that, right? Again, but like more publicly available. Maybe that would just be boring for me. Shinya Takahashi, I think he's the director of Kirby, right? I don't think they'd be getting HAL to do this. I don't think he'd be the one involved here. If it's going to be anyone, it will probably be the CEO of Nintendo. But I guess we'll find out very soon, because it's going to start any minute now. Let me know when it starts how the audio is and stuff, like if it's super loud or not. I not usually watch Nintendo YouTubers live like I tend to watch mine, but today I decided to watch you since it's a quick one. Oh, thanks, Ivan. Oh, it is Miyamoto. Here we go. Look at that. Nice. So it really do be just Miyamoto standing in the lobby of the hotel. Yes, that's the same picture I use in my thumbnail. Yep. Which is quite close to where their new building is. This isn't where the hotel is, though. The hotel's more central Kyoto, and then they made a big factory. Of course it's Mario Theme Plaza. Taking all the extra assets from Super Nintendo World. Oh, you can't hear the stream? Oh, that's concerning. Hold on. Well, I can hear the stream. Why can you guys not hear the stream? I can't tell if... okay, well, we've got a cool little museum. At least it has subtitles. Why can you guys not hear this? No, I guess you can't. None of you guys can hear it still. Hold on a second. Give me 2 secs.
皆さんの興味があるものを自由にご覧ください。それぞれのハードに分けた展示と合わせて我々の独創性とチャレンジをご覧になれます。
I'm gonna make that full screen again.
ご存知の方も多いと思いますが、任天堂はビデオゲームを作るずっと以前から家庭の遊びを作ってきました。
Sorry, it's a problem with my headphones. These aren't the headphones I usually use.
今から135年前の1880
Yeah, these aren't the headphones I usually use. My current
初
one's
めは
broke.
花札やカルタの製造が主な事業でした。
I'm using these ones for now.
それ以来任天堂はさまざまな遊びを生む玩具を作るようになり、それらがゲーム&ウォッチやファミコンへとつながってきました。ここではそのような昔の製品も振り返ってご覧いただきます。
Yeah, nice. I'd hope so. Anyway, I got distracted by this, but you can see little cabinets, I guess, with loads of older games in it. Yeah, the Famicom exhibit.
ご覧ください。日本向けと海外向けでハードのデザインが大きく違います。
They got both regional ones there.
当時はこんな風に日本と海外でデザインを変えて売っていたんです。名前も違っていて、ファミコンは日本以外では任天堂エンターテインメントシステム、略して NES と呼ばれています。
But I guess this is the kind of basic stuff you need to have in a museum, right? And different software from all the PAL versions and stuff.
パッケージのデザインや大きさも違いますね。
I wonder if they'll have like every NES
このよう
game
に
they've
比べてみ
made.
ることでいろんなことを発見していただける展示になっています。
I don't know why there's so much blank space between
ミュージア
boxes.
ム
Oh,
に
they
は
had Kung
任
Fu
天堂
there.
が発売したすべてのタイトルを展示してい
Okay,
ますか
games
ら、
Nintendo
皆さんが遊
published.
ばれたタイトル
But
を
does that
見
include
て
like
ください。
third parties they publish, like
上の
Final
モニター
Fantasy?
ではそれぞれの
I
ゲー
guess
ム画
probably
面も見
not.
られるようになっています。
Nice,
前に
nice.
立つとそれぞれの音が聞こえるスピーカーになっていますよ。
I was about to say, is that going to be really
で
loud?
は別の展示コーナーもいくつか覗いてみましょ
Nice. Oh, this
う。
is
この
like
コーナーでは
the
体を動かすモーションを使った遊びの進化を見てい
Power
ただけます。
Wii Fit. What's that bike? I've never seen that before.
そしてここではハテナブロックのデザインがどのように進化してきたかを見ていただくこともできます。
Nice Super Mario Land 2 one there.
このコーナーではそれぞれのハードのたびにスーパーマリオやゼルダの伝説などの
Come on, stream. What are you doing?
画面の進化を一気にご覧になれます。さて、こちらのコーナーでは多くの皆さんが知らない
See, this is what I was talking
任天堂が
about
ビデオゲームを
before.
作る
This
前
is
の時代
the
の製品を展示しています。
this is
これは
kind of
コピラスとい
like
って
obviously there's a lot
平
more
座式
here
の
than what Marifukura had. Like a Copilus
こ
and
ちらにはママベビ
the
ーカー、
baby stroller.
ベビーカーがありますね。
Where's the sign for the Love Hotel though, Miyamoto?
任天堂
Get
は
that
トラン
out.
プや花札に始まり、ボードゲームやラジコン
Socrates
カー、
chess.
バッティングマシンなどいろいろなファミリー向けの玩具を作っていました。
Family friendly.
そしてこの光線銃が一つの転機となり、ゲームセンター
This
などのゲー
lion
ム機を作り
mounted
始めたん
lion
です
thing, I
ね。
guess, is part of the light gun exhibit.
これは任天堂が初めて作った
Yeah,
家庭
the
用
color
のビデオ
TV
ゲーム
games. I saw one of
テレビ
these
ゲーム
being sold
15です。
in
ちょうど
a
私が
hard
入
off,
社し
but
た
it was broken,
1977年に発売されました。
which I suppose makes sense given how old they are
一つ
now.
一つの製品を見るとユニークな製品作りを続けて
Is that a
きたこと
Virtual
が
Boy
わか
in
り
the
ます
back? Oh no, that's I think that might be one of the vacuums because this is
このように
obviously the pre
ミュージアムの2
video
階で
game
は
section.
任天堂の過去の製品をたくさん展示し
Don't
てい
play
ます。
ads.
そして遊びがどのように進化しつながってきたかをお見せします。
Mhm.
今日お見せしたのはごく一部ですからぜひ実際に見に来てください。
This is
では
okay. I was
一回
going to say I hope
移動し
that's
ましょう。
not the end of it because this
一回
is
は
kind of
違ったエリアになって
basically
ますよ。
what I would have expected. Like this is the
はい
bare minimum
一階に
from
置いてきました
from this.
ご覧の通り1階の中央は
Okay, what is
巨大な
this?
モニターになっています。こんな感じで皆さんもこのモニターの上に乗って百人一首を遊んでいただくことができます。
Okay.
スマートフォンと組み合わせて遊びますよ。このようにミュージアムの1階のフロ
Oh
アは
right, that's
インタラクティブに
that's
体験ができる
interesting. That's
エリア
going
に
to
な
be
ってお
very
ります。
hard for foreigners to
過去に
play.
任天堂が作ってきた製
Like
品を今の
these
時代
sort
に
of
蘇
cards
ら
are
せる
like
と
you
どん
got
な
to
遊びになった
read like a
そんなテーマ
sentence
で
and then find the
8つの体
matching
験を作
card
っていました。
basically. 8
ミュージアム
experiences
に
of
入るとき
this.
に渡されるこの入館証にコインが入ってるんですが、体
Of
験には
course,
そ
they're
のコイ
bringing
ンを
the
使い
coin
ます。
thing. They're taking everything from Super
今日
Nintendo
は
World.
8つある体験の中から3つを紹介し
Well,
ま
this
しょう。
explains, I guess, why they
さ
decided
あ
to
こちらは
direct.
小さな部屋がいくつか並んでいますね。どんな体験ができるのでしょ
Why
う。
is
こ
this
こは
here to?
1968年に発売されたウルトラマ
Oh,
シン
the
が体験できるんです。
they've got these again. It's
ウルト
just
ラマシ
batting
ンは
cages then,
ピンポンの
basically.
球のようなボールを自動で投げてくれる部屋の中でプレーできるバッティングマシンでした。私が入手したのは改訂版のウルトラマシンデラックスが
Horse
発
racing
売される
music from
年でし
Ocarina
た。
of Time playing in the background
少しだ
there.
け仕上げに関われました。その頃は社内にプレールームというのがあって昼休みにはアーケードゲームやウルトラマシンを遊んでいました。こちらに並んだ部屋は当時の家庭を再現しています。部屋
Sure.
に置かれているものが違う
It's
の
so
で
tiny.
お
Look
好
at
み
it.
の部屋を選んでください。
I get it was meant to be a toy to have
で
at
は
home, but
早
still.
速体験してみましょう。床にウルトラマシンが置かれているのが分かりますか？では早速打ってみましょう。あ、惜しい。
This is so dangerous inside. Like, imagine you hit it so. I guess the balls are like made of like ping pong balls, aren't they? Okay, that's pretty cute. But like you just like smack the Pikmin vase and break it.
部屋の中にあるいろんなものにボールが当たるといろんなリアクションがあります。左右に打ち分けてみてください。
No, I guess that's what they want you to do. Smash as much stuff.
こちらはザッパー&スコープ SP という遊びです。
Oh, you can get a giant big super
は
scope. Nice.
1970年代にレーザープレイというボーリング場を改造した業務用のシューティング場を
This is technically the first video game thing that they did. I don't count it as an actual video game because it was like an entire bowling alley and so could only be done in certain places. But it's technically the first interactive video game-esque thing they made.
光線銃は2種類ありますね。片手で素早く撃てるザッパー、そして照準がついたスーパースコープ。このどちらかを選びます。
And you can shoot down the Koopalings.
スーパーファミコンのスーパースコープを復元
But
してみま
where's
した。
the Wii Zapper,
今日は
Miyamoto?
私はこちらのザッパーを使っています。
Also, they're using the Western design and not the actual like revolver pistol from the Japan side. Oh, okay. So you shoot PNGs of the various enemies from Super Mario. Yeah. So this is a very lose a point if you shoot Mario. I guess it's kind of like Hogan's Alley. It's like a Mario themed version of Hogan's Alley, the NES Zapper game. It's also very similar to something in Super Nintendo World already. Except that just uses Bowser Jr. and stuff. True, you got them there, Shogo. These are technically games. Yeah, especially shooting the bombs. Like, blow up and give you damage.
どうでしょうね、結果は。良かったみたいですよ。
Alright. Gloating because he got the best at the score. Okay, the giant 64 controller is very funny.
何か違いますよね。そうです。コントローラーが超巨大です。
Okay, this is pretty great. Playing Mario 64 with the giant analog stick. You gotta like move it around while one person tries to jump.
よろしく。スタッフさんが A ボタンのジャンプ、私が十字ボタンで移動を
Alright, this is pretty
二人で
funny.
息を合わせてクリアしましょう。頑張りましょう。
God, what would be the worst? Like, because if you've seen the giant Game Boys that already exist for this, what would be like the worst game to play, do you think? With a giant controller like this. They got 64, they got NES. I wonder if they have, what other they got? Super Nintendo, GameCube maybe? Giant. Oh look, they got Wii, they do. I was about to bring up Wii, so we got gigantic Wii remotes. Playing tennis with that. Kid Icarus, yes. Something that requires like a lot of very quick reaction times.
いいダッシュです。やりました。二人で声を掛け合いながら分担して操作すると
Wii Sports Resort Plane Mode.
ここでは他にもスーパーファミコン。
There is yeah, you can see Super Mario Kart off in the back there.
巨大コントローラーで遊ぶことができます。大きいウィリモコン。
Yeah, where's the giant nunchuck to play with as well?
いかがでしたでしょうか。今日ご紹介したものは任天堂ミュージアムのほんの一部です。製品の展示やインタラクティブな遊びの体験の他にも
Damn, why couldn't this been open when I was here?
花札が遊べる体験
Oh, that's cute.
花札を実際に作ってみることが
Oh,
で
that's
きる
really
ワークショ
cute,
ップも
actually.
開催します。また館内にはオリジナルのハンバーガーが作れるカフェ
Pick
や
what goes on your ham. Oh, so that's what the hamburger thing
販売
was.
するショップも併設してい
Ah,
ま
there
す。
we go. Exclusive museum merchandise.
任天堂は創業から100年を超え
Gonna
る
get
歴史
Museum
の中で
Mario.
さまざまな娯楽を作ってきました。時代によって作り出した製品は異なりますが、
They should
家
resell
族
the
みんなで
Nintendo
楽しんでいただきたい
3DS
という
Louvre
思いは今も昔も変わりません。
just
この
because.
任天堂ミュージアムはそんな任天堂が大切にしてきた遊びと独創を大切にするものづくりへのこだわりを知っていただける場所です。 皆さんにはそれを体験しながら実感してもらいたいと思って、開発も一緒に社員が全力で作り上げてきました。任天堂ミュージアムは10月2日にオープンします。
I mean, I can't go. It doesn't matter to me because I can't go back to Japan in 2 months.
そちらでご覧ください。
But I'm sure we'll get plenty of previews.
それでは、
Hey,
ミュー
Toad.
ジアムでお待ちしています。
Maybe we'll see if
私も一緒に
someone
してま
from.
すよ。
Oh no. Oh no. I reckon the ticket will probably be, if I had to take a guess, given all the interactive stuff, I reckon a ticket's going to be something like 1,600 yen, give or take, maybe 2,000 yen. And then if you want to do the extra workshops, those are going to be extra costs on top of it. Because it sounds like you have to get a card. Maybe they'll have a non-card entrance thing. Like, so you get an interactive pass where you get that card he showed, or you get a non-interactive one where it's just looking around, and that non-interactive one will be like half the price. That would be my guess. Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to do, Ivan. Go to Super Nintendo World, the museum, and do all the Pokemon stuff, and I only got to do the ladder because it was the only one that was open. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess like $20. I mean, with current yen prices, it'd be more like $12, $13. But who knows what it's going to be like at the time. That's just my guess based on the usual prices for stuff. Like, it's not going to be the same price as... No, we're not going to listen to the Zelda Orchestra Symphony. It's like not going to be the same price as like Super Nintendo World or something, but I expect it to be more pricier than the average museum visit, which is usually somewhere around 1,000 yen. So, yes, that is also true, Shogo, actually. The museum is going to be hella popular, so you're going to have to book it in advance. Actually, the Ghibli Museum's a great example. Let me see how much Ghibli Museum tickets are. Because I have been to the Ghibli Museum. I've been lucky enough to go. Yeah, so the Ghibli Museum is only 1,000 yen to enter. It doesn't have anything interactive like that, but you do get to watch one animation. But the big thing with the Ghibli Museum is that you have to definitely book in advance. In order to get in, because they have limited entry. And I imagine it'll be the same thing here. But yeah, I'm sticking with 1,500, 1,600 yen as my guesstimate for pricing. And then obviously museum merch, the food, the burgers. I wonder if the burgers will be the same one as Super Nintendo World, because I had the Mario burger at Super Nintendo World and it was very nice. So I wonder if it'll be the same thing. I also wonder if it'll all be Mario related. Obviously, Famicom exhibit and the big controllers and stuff all had different things. But the shooting gallery was all Mario themed. And it's Mario themed on the outside. Toad, obviously, at the end. I know Nintendo has 5 series they really like to push. Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, Animal Crossing, and Pikmin. So I wonder if we'll see the other 4 around the museum. Like Zelda especially. So I think the interactive elements are pretty neat. I think that's what's going to make the museum, because everything they showed before the interactive stuff is pretty much what I expected to see from this. Like a lot of pre-video game content, the toys and all of this. Like there'll probably be a section that has the history of Nintendo, like as a timeline, explaining the key moments. Didn't see a Wii U, I thought I saw a Virtual Boy at one point, but I actually don't think it was a Virtual Boy. I think it's actually this vacuum toy that they have. What I will say is that they'll definitely have a section that will be like every console. Like they already showed that they had the color TV game, right? So they'll have like a thing that just goes through. Might even start, if they get super into it, it might start with Wild Gunman, which was the first video game, what I would consider a video game. It's technically an EVR game that they ever made. And they'll start with that, and then they'll do that. They'll do color TV game. They'll do Othello, which is the first video game they made. the first one that didn't use EVR components. Then Donkey Kong, because that's obviously the big one. Then no, they'll do the Game & Watch, then Donkey Kong. That's the order it came out in. And then Famicom Disk System, probably NES as well next to Famicom, and then just go in console release order from there, hopefully covering everything. And at that point, we'll see Wii U Virtual Boy. Although it would be very funny if they had a giant Virtual Boy or a giant Wii U to play around with. Just a massive screen with a big pen. That would be great for DS, like a big DS where you have like a massive stylus and you're using the touch screen to play like Yoshi's Touch and Go or something stupid like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what merchandise they have. Just judging by the Nintendo store, though, I wouldn't imagine they did. Like, the Nintendo store, like I said, was mostly those 5 IP, Mario, Zelda, Pikmin, Splatoon, Animal Crossing. And then they had a bit of merch that was referencing like the NES and consoles. Like, you know, they had those controller gachas that people have been posting on Twitter. And then there was a couple of Kirby things, because Kirby's really big. There was like one Metroid thing I saw, and that was it, basically. And I fully expect it to kind of be like that, but leaning more into the before Mario era and the history element of it. So, like, you might be able to get minifigures or keychains of like a bunch of old Nintendo toys. What might be a really cool thing that I think they should do is that they should sell replicas of their old toys, like the Ultra Hand or the Love Tester. Like, remake those toys, those classic Nintendo toys they made before, the popular ones, not all of them because they made like 1 billion of them, but the ones everyone knows, and then sell them exclusively at the museum store. I think that would be really cool as a thing to do. And because they're definitely going to sell Hanafuda cards, and they're definitely going to sell playing cards. They sell them already everywhere. And you can buy both the Mario-style Hanafuda cards, which I actually have behind this thing. And they also have the Napoleon, like the traditional Hanafuda cards. And given there's a workshop where you can make your own Hanafuda cards and play Hanafuda stuff, they're definitely going to sell Hanafuda cards. And so I think if they sold replica old toys like the Ultra Hand, because like the Ultra Hand is a really popular device, right? Like, really popular toy. It's the thing that Gunpei Yokoi made that made him like recognized at Nintendo. I reckon people would buy that just for the novelty of having an Ultra Hand, even if it's just a silly grab it from a distance toy. Like, big Nintendo nerds like us will buy them and just make replicas of that. And maybe you could even have if they really wanted to get into the woodwork of it, have like keychains of like the old mascots they had, like the kangaroo that they used to use for all of their old toys. The Lego, the Lego knockoff. I wonder if they'll touch that at all. I am curious how in depth they're going to go, because they mentioned like all the games that Nintendo published will be at the museum, but there are some games that Nintendo published only in one region, and you could see it when Miyamoto was talking. I wonder if I can go back to, because it skipped over to that. So if I can like go find where it is. I've made it so you can't see my mouse. Wonder if I can change that quickly. Let's have a look. See. Where's the footage thing on here? Okay. Just 2 seconds. There we go. Show mouse cursor. Awesome. You should be able to see this now. So, like, here you can see, obviously they've got so they're showing all of like the different regional things here, but then down here they're showing like just the Famicom cards, right? Like the Famicom Disk System cards, because presumably this is stuff like Famicom Detective Club. And actually, so you see Famicom Detective Club there. And actually, you can see Mio Nakayama. Is that how you say that? That the dating game, the romance game that they made with Square Enix, Sakamoto. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, like close up, they might actually be going all out for this, because look, there's Star Tropics there, obviously, but like they've got some of the games here that were only released in the West. Doesn't have a Japanese version. I'm surprised. I'm curious why that one doesn't come with a box. It's just the cartridge. I can't see like too clearly what those are. I'd have to do like a proper deep dive and get up the boxes to compare some of these. Like, so there's a game called To the Earth on NES. What does the box art for that look like? That was published by Nintendo. Yes, it is that one. Okay, cool. So, this one here, over here, that's To the Earth, which is an American only, or maybe it's just a Western only Zappa game for the NES. That's cool that they're doing that. So they are actually going kind of all out for this. It's obviously also in release order, like going down here. Although Legend of Zelda's there, and these aren't fully in release order. I'm not quite sure what the order is going on, because it's kind of sort of at the start, but then Zelda shouldn't be down there. It should be way further along, and neither should Super Mario Bros. 3. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. The Game Boy Advance version. So games like Magical Vacation and Mother 3 will 100% be there. I mean, you can see here, Mother 1 is here. Like, it's there. So, like, Mother 3 is definitely going to be here. And you can see Rob also over there in the back. So, I guess my big question is, will they have this for every single system? Because I'd imagine so. You can see the giant Game Boy in the back, right? So you got the giant NES and Famicom controllers. You see the giant Game Boy back there. So presumably that's the section that has all the Game Boy games in it. You got Donkey Kong. You got the European release Donkey Kong Classic. So yeah, I guess they're going for every game that Nintendo published. So I guess now my next question for them is this every game that they published and also owned the rights to? Because obviously in the West, Nintendo published stuff like Final Fantasy and Rad Racer for the NES, but they don't own those IP. They're owned by Square Enix. And even nowadays, Nintendo over here in the West publish games like Dragon Quest XI. Live a Life, that remake by Square Enix, that was also published by Nintendo over here. And then how does it work on the other end? Because you got like Mario plus Rabbids, which Nintendo published in Japan, but Ubisoft published everywhere else. And the Mario and Sonic games, which Sega publish, or the Warriors games, which Nintendo publish outside of Japan, but Koei Tecmo publish in Japan. Like, will those be at this museum? Because I have to say that I think that just based on this Famicom NES, what we see here, I think that we're going to get this section for every single system. And every single system. And this will be, for me, this will be an incredible resource to know what games Nintendo still own any kind of rights to. Because that's a big question when trying to do Nintendo history and looking back at the games they published. Because there are some games like Warlocked on the Game Boy, which Nintendo published Nintendo published it when it came out. It was only released in America. The studio Bit Studio isn't around anymore. But like, did Nintendo own Warlocked then? It's never been re-released. It's never been on any virtual console or NSO, but it's also not been on like Steam or anything else. So like, does Nintendo own this IP? does Nintendo own this game? Will Warlock show up in the Game Boy section of this museum? Because if it does, I would take that as a hard confirmation that Nintendo owns the rights to it as an IP. Although saying that, the Miho, I should really remember what the game is. Famicom Miho. Nakayama Miho. There we go. Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School, which is this one back here. Like, Nintendo obviously own the rights to that game, but it's not an IP that they own because Nakayama Miho is a real life person. so like, it's not a Nintendo IP, but it is a game they own, which I guess would be like Bayonetta, right? Because Bayonetta 2 and 3, Bayonetta is not a series until the SNES. Will that show up here? Because they don't own the IP, but they do own the game. Oh, what's going on here?